Good afternoon and welcome to How You Livin with Robin B and Dr. Kiva. Hey, Dr. Kiva.
How's it going?
How are you?
I am well.
Happy Monday.
Well, happy Monday. Did you have your coffee this morning?
I had a little bit of coffee. Oh, I meant to bring something. Do you know that? Daggone it. I meant to bring you this massive book that Dr. Fisher sent me.
Oh.
I get this something and I'm like, what's this from Dr. Fisher? It's a huge binder and I meant to bring it so I could show it to the world.
Oh,
It
man.
is called the Coffee Picture Book or something like that. And it gives you from the origins, everything that you want to know about coffee.
Oh.
And I was going to hold it up and say, I see you, Dr. Fisher. I see you.
It sounds interesting.
It's massive. And I hate I didn't bring it, but I'll bring it next week before I return it to her. Because I am going to return it
I
to
wonder,
her.
Was she trying to teach you something?
Oh, yeah. There's a
on
little
the cool?
note. There's a little love note on there.
Oh, what does
it
it
said,
say?
this is to help you out, Jeff. So she's trying to make a very good point. So we'll see.
I'd be curious to see what it says.
Yeah, I'm going to bring it in. It's cute. It's like a comic book, but it's very heavy. I mean, really, it's definitely something that I need to return to her because it's big.
Right.
So I'm sure she knows I'm good for it. I'll return it. But she clearly wanted to make her point. So did she make a point? Oh, no, I had coffee this morning. So we'll see.
After you're drinking your coffee.
After I drank, as I'm sipping my coffee, I'm flipping through the book. So I don't know. We'll see.
So anything exciting this weekend?
Well, actually, we did. Jeff, my partner in crime, had a birthday.
Nice.
Yeah, so I tried to make the whole weekend. We had a staycation, so we went away. We stayed in town, but we just stayed at a hotel.
Oh, that's
nice.
And
and just kind of did no work. We really kept our mind focused 100% on relaxation. So that was good. And then we came back home like yesterday evening. So that was good. It was very nice. He needed it. I needed it.
I know that sounds like it's a relaxing time for sure.
Yeah.
So you didn't tell me what tea I'm drinking today.
Today's tea, you know, it's one of my favorite combos. It's green tea, but it's more blueberry than green.
Okay.
And I don't know if you could taste it. You know, I'm always rushing. Yummy.
Yeah,
pretty delicious.
Yeah. I could taste the blueberry.
What do you think, Vince? Well, I also squeeze lime in. You know, I'm all about the lime.
Oh.
Because I want to, so all three of those things are good for you. The lime's great for cutting your mucus. You probably know that.
Okay.
And then the blueberries, and it also has elderberry. The blueberry has elderberry. So all of those are antiviral, very strong antioxidants. And of course, the green tea and ginger is very good for you. So that's a powerhouse in your cup right there.
Okay. So is this a blend that you've already created?
Yes.
Or?
The green tea, it's Centra green tea, but it's blended, hand blended. They crunch up organic pieces of ginger. So it's real ginger. If you look at it, I'm going to bring it in so people can see. But if you look at it, you can see beautiful chunks of ginger in there.
Nice.
And so that combination to me, I think is amazing.
So is this a loose tea or is it a tea bag?
These are all my loose leaf. But what I started to do when I don't use my infuser, I've got a batch of tea bags. So it's so convenient. I got these biodegradable tea bags.
Okay.
And then so when I'm in a hurry like I was today, I just throw it all in. That way I can mix everything in one big tea bag.
Nice.
And put it in. I put it in my teapot, let it steep, and then I pour it into the my infuser bottle.
Okay. So from what I understand with teas, the water needs to be at a certain temperature, right?
Yeah, 180 is what's usually recommended, but I mean, I'm not that much of a connoisseur that I'm going to be picky about the temperature.
Right.
What I usually do is let it boil, and then I let it sit for about 2 minutes, and that will bring it down. You know.
How long should you let tea steep?
Well, it depends. Now, this one, the green tea, is very powerful. Now, if you're a real, dyed-in-the-wool green tea drinker, you want it bitter. People love the bitterness of green tea.
Okay.
However, I will not recommend anybody to steep it more than 90 seconds. If you steep it more than 90 seconds, it's going to be strong. But within 60 to 90, it's perfect to me. And then with the blueberry tea, you can steep for a couple of minutes because that's black tea.
Oh, okay.
And so it's not really bitter. And so that's what we got today.
So I make mistakes when I put it in a jar and put my tea bag in water and just go and leave the house. Well, and I'll drink it later.
That's kind of like cold brew. And that's okay because there's another way to do it. And they usually tell you to cold brew overnight, to stick your tea bag in, put it in the fridge overnight and let it do that way. But the way you do it works. As long as you get something out of it. Yeah.
So if you don't know that Robin is the tea person, so
I'm
if
the tea
someone wants to
lady.
get some tea, where would they go to
So
get
they
your
would
tea?
go to youendure.com. And if you go to my Instagram, I'm literally Robin Loves Tea or Mind, Body, and Tea. On
Okay.
Instagram, it's Mind, Body, and Tea. And on Facebook, it's Mind, Body, and Tea. But if you want to cash at me, then it's the tea lady.
Cash at
me. It's all about the tea. But yeah, thank you for asking.
You know, so
You Endure is a play on the word, just so you know.
You Endure.
You and then You Endure.
Nice.
You Endure.
So you know, back in days before us, people used to read tea leaves to kind of, you know.
Do you know I used to do that all the time in Boston? I used to go, and I'm gonna tell you something that's really horrendous. Okay, I used to go. This tea leaf reader once told me I was a teenager, maybe 18. She told me I was gonna die a violent death.
Whoa!
How dare she say something like that?
But
that might be why I'm so
leaves,
paranoid about driving all the time.
But I guess reading the tea leaves was a way to tell the future.
Yeah.
It was a fortune teller that would read tea leaves.
Yeah, and it's big in Boston. I mean, there were tea houses everywhere. So that my introduction to loose leaf tea was really in Boston as a teenager. Because me and my sisters, we all would go to the tea houses.
And then they would be able to read your fortune there also?
So you drink your tea, and because you're the one drinking it, then your leaves are at the bottom, and they're playing around with your leaves, and this is how they do it. They kind of play around with your leaves with a little stick or a spoon or something.
Right.
And that's how they tell you, and some of them were very spot on accurate. That's a very good question.
Yeah. So I wonder. So what are your the phrase?
There's a phrase that says, reading the tea leaves. They use that a lot in politics, like reading the tea leaves, and that's where they're coming from.
So do you believe in that?
You believe it or not, yes, because I believe in all things, otherworldly. I'm very spiritual, but I do believe that I've told you many times, I know I'm being visited by my loved ones. So I know for a fact that there's life after death. And I told you about that. We talked about that show, actually, Surviving Death. Yeah. What did you think about that?
Well, I do think that energy can't be destroyed. Yeah. So it has to go someplace, and so anything is possible. Right. I don't, you can't say that anything is possible.
That's true. And you know what? When they say that, it always confuses me a little bit. You could probably help me understand it, because they always say energy cannot be created or destroyed. So what does that mean? It's just there? Is that what they mean?
It's just there. I mean, energy is always around us.
Okay.
And so even if you destroy the physical, you still have the energy of that soul.
Okay. That's good. And I know a lot of the times they'll tell you, if you look at your hand under a microscope, you can see that energy. One thing I do know, and they've shown this. You did this for like 30 seconds, and you can feel it.
Yeah, you can feel that's your
proof.
Aura.
Yeah, that is proof. So I'm a big fan. I'm a big believer in energy.
And there's a lot of religions, especially like, say, Ifa.
Okay.
Because Ifa, you celebrate your ancestors.
Okay.
And when you build altars, you're talking to your ancestors.
Okay.
So so it's a big belief that we're all created in this space, and your ancestors are always there protecting you and watching over you.
Now that you brought that up, what do you think about the hurricanes?
Coming from Africa.
Yeah, so I'm like, okay, that's our ancestors, but I'm like, what did Louisiana ever do? They suffered enough. But it does come from the path of Africa. So to me,
I don't know. I think that's probably based more on just the temperature of the water,
geography, and all that stuff. I don't know. I'd like to think that it was something really. I love. It makes me feel good, and I think that something bigger than us is at
exactly.
Work. It just feels more. You feel a little more protected, because we don't want to be in charge of our own stuff. And like all day on my way here today, every single day of my life, I see repeated numbers.
What's your number?
Every single day, 444. Every single day.
I see a lot of
on my way here, 1111, 550, 444, and 555 all weekend. This weekend, and it says it just means that your thoughts are really, really focused right now, and to pay attention. The angels. It's always about your guardian angels.
Always.
And they're trying to tell you need to pay attention. What your thoughts can manifest very clearly now, that your thoughts are very focused and concentrated.
And so keeping with the theme of still the beginning of the beginning of the
right.
year,
looking at towards the future,
and talking about your New Year's resolution.
Right.
Today's show, we're going to focus on what the future might bring for you in 2021,
and in a different way, a little more unorthodox, right?
Yeah, because we have a psychic that's going to come and talk to us today about what's in the future, or what she can kind of read off of us, and we'll see what's in store.
I'm telling you, she has those Mega Million numbers. I had to find out if that was in Houston, because if it was, we got some talking to do.
That's the real question. Can you give me some numbers?
Give me some numbers that work, please. But yeah, I'm looking forward to her. Actually, I saw her on a show several years ago, and I heard her telling someone who had called in that they need a particular stone. So I'm like, that sounds good. So I started carrying that. So it's the moonstone,
right?
It's selenite, I think.
It sounds right.
And then so I started buying them for every. I have a thing of buying like black tourmaline, because anything that's protective. Yeah. For one time, all my sisters, we all went away. There's 4 of us. So each of my sisters got a black tourmaline necklace. I'm like, okay, we got to stay. We all got to stay
like
safe.
This little.
See, we are so here. You might be chill and I'm up there, but we're still here.
Exactly.
I'm telling you, yin and yang all the way, all the way.
So we're going to take a short little break, and when we come back, we're going to have a psychic medium to tell us about 2021.
Yeah, Miss Victoria Alvarado. See you in a minute.
Aren't you tired of not getting what you want in bed?
Are you ready to spice things up behind those closed doors?
Woo! We're here for you every hump day at 7 p.m.
This is Sex on the Edge with Jen and Hen. I'm Jennifer Reeves.
And I'm Hendrik Scott, and we are professional licensed sex therapists.
So remember to watch us Wednesday at 7 p.m. on Edge Radio TV, just in time for sexy time.
Are you a small business owner concerned about the downturn in the economy? Top business leaders like Mattress Mac and Warren Buffett will tell you that now is the time to promote your business more than ever. People need your services. Your business needs an edge. Learn about special advertising packages for small businesses right here on Edge Radio. Find out more, give us a call at 281-744-0446. That's 281-744-0446. Edge, because truth still matters.
And welcome back to How You Living. So we had a little hiccup with our,
you owe me a Coke.
with our psychic. She read the tea leaves and had an emergency and wasn't able to make it today. So we'd have to invite her back another day.
We will bring her back, and we might even have more stuff for her to read by then.
Exactly.
So we're just gonna wing it today, y'all. Okay. Kiva is a very, very talented singer. So I've asked her to please grace us all with a song.
now she's trying to have a filler time. Since we're looking at we're still looking at the future for 2021.
Yes, we
right?
are. I think we've got a decent start.
Oh, it was so funny. So I was watching Dr. Fauci.
Okay.
And he was able to do a press conference. He was so happy.
He seemed, because he could speak his mind
yes.
without any fear of repercussions.
Exactly.
But he was so, and now, what about Ms. Burks all of a sudden trying to play the game too? Have you heard her? She has no lines, none. Okay, Deborah Burks, she's the one that stuck around. She's the one who couple of things she said. She said, oh yeah, the president's very attentive when we're telling him the facts. He wants all the data. And then when he talked about injecting bleach into your body,
okay,
she says, oh, I'm sure he didn't mean it literally, but he just blah, blah, blah. Instead of just straight out helping protect America, she kind of defended him.
Right. So
now she comes out this weekend to say, well, we gave him charts with the facts of what was going on in this country as far as the infections, but he got a parallel set of facts from his people who made it look like something more like what he wanted to see. And those, she said, the charts that he showed were not the charts we gave him.
Right.
Why is she telling us now? Why wasn't she a whistleblower?
Well, I mean, I think a lot of time they were operating in fear.
Well, she could have left like anyone else would have a brain. Just
I don't
leave.
know why they didn't want to leave. They wanted to
she's
stay.
Supposed to be. She was so respected.
Right.
She had a very illustrious career up until then. Now she has no credibility. You don't tell I know who started the fire after the house is already burnt down.
Right.
Mm-mm.
So what do you think that's going to, how do you think that's going to affect 2021 moving forward?
Well, I think 2021, we know that our new president has his hands full. There's going to be a lot for him to try to pull off. But he has really smart people behind him. He's not dealing with all of his cronies, okay? Mm-hmm. He didn't bring in his highest donor to be in charge of health and human services, okay? He's bringing real qualified people. He even got criticized for bringing in some of Obama's crew, but they were qualified. They were highly competent.
Yeah.
So do what you got to do.
What is that? Native American saying about the wings, like it still belong to the same bird.
Oh, I never
There's a
heard
left
that
wing and a
before.
right wing, but it still belongs to one bird.
Good.
And like so, that. So we have to say that they're probably still going to have a little donors.
Absolutely. No, nobody is clean.
Exactly.
Nobody.
Exactly.
I am a registered independent for a reason. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Because they were just crooked. Politics is crooked.
Right.
Those are the bottom. But there's some of them have a little more care for their country, or a lot more.
I don't even like to claim any set, really.
Of course you don't. Of course you don't. Of course you don't.
Can I say
that one more time?
Of course.
You are the most neutral person I've ever met in my life.
It's like even when someone says, "Are you a Christian or Buddhist?" I'm like, "Do I have to claim
you have
anything?"
To claim. I always enjoyed the non-denominational.
Exactly.
I could work with that.
It's the same thing. Like you're public. Yeah. Oh man, why do I have to claim something?
Man-made religions.
It's just to claim anything. It's almost like we look at gangs and say, why do they want to belong to a gang? But then on the flip side, everything in life we're supposed to belong to something.
That's true.
So it's like
there was some
they're just trying to belong.
That.
Exactly.
I never felt the need to belong, but that's because I'm a weird bird too. I'm a very strange bird. I love my own company. I'm good. I don't need to be in a group of anything, except for winners.
I like
That's
that
always
group.
a good group to be in.
You know, but hey, like the Buddhists say, you know, you do your best and you get you're not attached to the outcome.
I like that.
So if you're not, so if you're always doing your best.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
I like that. You know, I'm gonna steal that from you.
No, steal it from Buddha.
We're gonna have to do some nuggets of our own. I think that's probably what we're, especially today. Right.
I know, but I think even moving forward, I don't think that Biden's going to be able to reverse everything in a year or two. It's going to take a while for us to actually get a positive view from the world.
Absolutely.
After this.
We're so underwater. I find it interesting that all of a sudden the Republicans, folks, I'm not a big fan of Republicans, that they are screaming bloody murder because he is proposing a $2 trillion aid to get people out of the hole they've been in for.
Right.
But nobody said boo when they, I don't know, was it almost $2 trillion, the tax cuts that they gave the 1%?
Mm-hmm.
So the duplicity kills me. It really does. The hypocrisy of it all.
So when they offer this $2 trillion, would they just go say, well, okay, we're gonna go make some money, basically?
Well,
right?
that's what I think that's what they've been doing is printing money.
They're gonna print some money.
Our money's gonna be worth nothing. You're right. But at least this time they're giving it to people who will put it back into the economy. What they did with the 1%, what did they do? They just took it to the Cayman Islands account. You know, they're not regenerating it into the United States economy. They're either hoarding it or they're putting it in their offshore accounts. They're not even paying their taxes.
Okay.
So at least the people who are already dying paying their taxes are going to have some money.
Right.
You know, that's my thought.
So if we look at 2021, do you think that we're going to be able to do anything with, let's tackle climate change?
Yes. He immediately is going back to join the Paris Climate Accord. That's great. I think that he stopped the pipeline. What is that?
In Alaska, right?
Yeah, that was. Yeah. I mean, and it was trampling on indigenous lands. I mean, my God, no respect for nothing.
Let's cut down some trees and let's do some fracking.
The beautiful thing about the executive orders, you can undo some damage,
right?
Just like you can do some damage. So he's doing his
executive
best.
Orders are. It's kind of.
You know what? You got to do something.
Okay, let me just sign, but this isn't written in stone.
No, it's going to be overturned again. I mean, that's what you do. But we may get 4 years of a little bit cleaner air. You know, we might get 4 years of just a little more equitable treatment. You know, 4 years. I remember they undid all of the police reforms that Obama had put into place.
Right.
So there are some things that are executive orders are needed so that you could get it immediately. If you got to vote on it, it's going to take, you know how red tape is.
Okay. So now that's with climate. What do you think is going to happen with the vaccine? Because didn't he get into office and Biden and he was like, okay, we don't have these vaccines that they said that they were supposed to have.
Right.
So what do you think?
There's some few different controversies. Now, I know a few people have taken the vaccine, okay? I know some people who are on the waiting list. But then I just heard that someone got the second shot.
Right.
And they still got COVID again.
Well, you're going to get COVID.
Well, what the hell?
A vaccine. Remember when we had Dr.
But
Uzo
when we
and he
got
said
I haven't had the measles since I got my measles shot.
Well, remember he just said it was not to kill you.
Okay. And
he said that's why you do a vaccine.
Okay.
Because you still can get it.
Okay.
But hopefully you won't die from COVID.
Okay.
So it doesn't stop you from not getting sick.
Then how do you know which brand is better?
Oh.
You know, Moderna, Pfizer, Johnson & Johnson's getting into the game.
Well,
but somebody had to pull this back.
Yeah, Pfizer, their temperature has to be extremely cold. Moderna's not as cold.
Okay.
And I think Johnson & Johnson might have one shot instead of having two.
I'd like that one shot, please.
I know.
One shot, please.
Because
I just assume wait for about a year.
Because it was in the UK, it's like they were trying to say, well, let's give everybody this one shot and we'll wait to see about the second one later. Okay. And Dr. Fauci's like, follow the science. There's a reason why you need two shots.
So why were they trying to do it
I think they
were
just trying to get as many people.
Okay, for efficiency's sake or something.
Right.
Yeah, but if it's not going to work, that's kind of a waste.
I know, right?
Dang. But so have you decided if you're going to do it and which brand?
I would do
which
Moderna.
Big Pharma are you going to give your money to?
I would do Moderna.
Okay.
Or Johnson & Johnson if they have that one shot.
Because Pfizer's the one with the high...
The temperature.
Yeah, and you heard somebody threw a bunch of them away. Did you read that or hear about it? somebody threw a bunch of, I don't know if they were doing it for political reasons, but supposedly they did it on purpose, and now they're being.
Oh, so it went bad, or he didn't put in the correct temperature.
Yeah,
and it
they
went bad
destroyed
or
it on purpose.
No, I don't get why someone would do that.
I don't either. I really don't.
You know, because I'm tired of COVID. Let me tell you,
I'm so tired. And you know what? If you drive up and down any street anywhere in Houston, it's that jam packed. Supermarkets jam, restaurants are jam packed. I mean, it's just a jam packed. People just like living in a alternative reality,
right?
You know, like COVID doesn't even exist in some areas. Where we were was a section of, I guess they never even watched the news or something, because they were all sitting very close to each other, no masks. We went down to like the restaurant in the hotel,
right?
It was like a room full of people, no masks. I said, we took a beeline right the hell up out of there. I'm like, no, thank you. It's just so interesting.
Some people do take chances for sure.
Yeah. Well, I just thank God in heaven. I mean, there were a couple of people close to me that had it, but they were young, and so they survived it. But they still got sick as hell.
Yeah, because my little
sounds
coworker,
uncomfortable.
because she's still coughing. You know,
really? Right.
They can cough for a while because they don't know what the after effects of it all.
Has she got her lungs looked at?
Well, no, I don't think she has.
Yeah, I don't even want. When I saw the video of people being intubated, putting that thing down their throat, that's enough to freak anybody out. I'm like, that's enough motivation for me to stay away from COVID. You know, as best I can. But I don't know. Let's think of what else we got to look forward to.
Yeah, so we have the biggies last year were the climate, of course, COVID.
Right. Well, also, you know, racial injustice.
Oh.
And they call it, what do they call it? Judicial equality, or
is that
something like that. But I don't know how. I mean, it seemed to have gotten worse under Obama, to be perfectly honest. It seemed to have gotten worse. So there's only so much you can do federally. It's all about the local.
Well, I mean, can we say that it's gotten worse, or it just woke up?
It's showing
itself.
It's rearing its ugly head.
Exactly.
Yeah. And then the people who stormed, this is something that's been curious to me. The people who stormed the Capitol, most of them have been charged with misdemeanors. What's that about? That's really weird. It's like shooting someone on Fifth Avenue and getting away with it.
Oh, yeah, yeah. Well, you know, it just shows how we live in two different worlds.
Yes, we do.
We live in two different worlds.
Yeah. What's been circulating, and you know the story about the young man who was imprisoned in Rikers Island for 3 years at 16 for supposedly stealing a backpack.
Right.
But they show his picture right next to the girl who stole the laptop out of Nancy's office and was threatening to sell it to the Russians. Well, he, of course, after 3 years of torture, and he was innocent, he killed himself.
I remember that.
And they let her go home to her mother. And she was ready to sell our secrets to the Russians. What the hell?
I know it's at a place
unequal
that
justice under the law.
It's very unequal, and I don't know if that's going to change within our lifetimes. I don't know. Yeah. I just don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. Hate is a powerful thing.
It is.
You know, it really is. It really can distort a person's thinking. And some people try to look at it as a disease. It's not a disease. You know, that's a cop-out. It's not a disease.
Well, you know, I like quotes.
Oh, yeah.
You ever heard the quote, some people have to cut off the heads of others to feel tall?
That's good. That's really good.
So sometimes you have to cut off your other people so that you feel superior.
That makes sense, though.
And so that's like
that mean girl thing. You know, basically, you could be a mean girl in politics, really.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, there's a lot of. I think there's a lot of fear that drives the actions that are going on.
Exactly.
You know?
Exactly. Fear is powerful.
Yeah.
Fear is powerful, just like with even those abortion rights.
Yeah.
I was telling my mom, I was like, well, maybe a certain population is afraid of their numbers dwindling, so that's a way to kind of control a woman's reproductive system.
I always try to understand, because here's the interesting thing: they're willing to kill to save a baby. All right. So they're willing to kill everybody in the clinic to save the life of a baby. Just help me understand. Or else, and they're also, most of them are almost always for the death penalty. So it's
or even better, what about the kids at the borders whose parents and children will never be connected? Because if they got pulled away as babies,
me cry every time
and they
I
won't
think
even
about
know
it.
who their parents are, so they won't, be
Girl,
able
don't
to
make
say,
me cry on air. I'm an ugly crier.
So how can you say, well, abortion? Oh, I'm gonna fight, I'm gonna kill.
But once the kid's here,
then what happens?
Absolutely, 100%. Once that baby's born, you don't want to give that mother anything to help maintain that baby.
Exactly.
I agree. So it's that's some things. Yeah, there's some logic issues that we've got to deal with. And that's one of them.
It's crazy. Yeah, so we're going to take a little break, and then we're going to come back and discuss some more issues of the day. This is a Issues of the Day Monday.
Issues of the Day Monday. That's what it is. Issues Monday.
Issues Monday. I got some issues.
Who don't? See you in a minute.
Aren't you tired of not getting what you want in bed?
Are you ready to spice things up behind those closed doors?
Woo! We're here for you every hump day at 7 p.m.
This is Sex on the Edge with Jen and Hen. I'm Jennifer Reeves.
And I'm Hendrik Scott, and we are professional licensed sex therapists.
So remember to watch us Wednesday at 7 p.m. on Edge Radio TV, just in time for sexy time.
Are you a small business owner concerned about the downturn in the economy? Top business leaders like Mattress Mac and Warren Buffett will tell you that now is the time to promote your business more than ever. People need your services. Your business needs an edge. Learn about special advertising packages for small businesses right here on Edge Radio. Find out more, give us a call at 281-744-0446. That's 281-744-0446. Edge, because truth still matters.
Don't push me because I'm close to the edge.
I'm trying not to lose my head.
Hey, this is the Talk About Unity show where I bring the talk.
And I bring the unity.
And together we talk about unity. Unity is what matters. Come on. And right now in our country, that's what we've got to do. So we do that here at Talk About Unity on the Edge Radio Network. Be with us every week.
It's going to be awesome. It always is. And I tell you what, the more we seek first to understand, then be understood, we make progress.
And we like to do that. And that's why everybody's on the brink. We love what we do at Edge Radio because everybody's on the edge. We bring them back from the edge and we bring the unity. So we're just glad. Edge Radio Network every Tuesday morning, 10 a.m. Talk About Unity because here at Edge Radio Network, truth still matters.
And welcome back to How You Living, the issue Monday.
Yes.
So we get to talk about all the different issues. So another big one that's going to really show up in a lot of people's lives is depression.
Yeah.
From 2020, there was a lot of depression. You were isolated from other human beings, human touch, and and some people are still isolated.
Right.
I know some psychiatrists and psychologists that they're like booked.
Oh my goodness.
They have Zoom. They do Zoom.
They
calls.
do Zoom. I noticed that there is a lot, and thank God for Zoom.
I know.
Really.
A billionaire
I'm
overnight.
telling you, did you invest? I don't know if I haven't. It's probably too late now. But
Amazon and Zoom.
Amazon and Zoom. I'm telling you, those are stocks to look at.
And probably cannabis.
And
but definitely.
Yeah. Oh no, cannabis for sure. Actually, I started getting into that investing. We won't talk about the personal part, but I started investing in that a couple of years ago. Like all the farms that are going out. That is a several $1 billion. And if I had my way, I would absolutely be growing cannabis.
I mean, I'm sure. But I do wonder with
we digress.
We digress because with people and their mental health right now, and that's why it's not too surprising what happened at the Capitol because
people are going crazy.
Exactly.
You're absolutely right, and it doesn't take much for you to be triggered if you're already susceptible.
Exactly.
So I understand.
Yeah.
I
so
understand.
Mental health is going to be a big one.
Really big. And when you got to think about, we're all blessed. We have people we know, but there are millions of people who don't have anyone, or at least tens of thousands who don't really have anyone, or elderly, or maybe already suffering, and they just don't have anyone that they can count on. And so I know there are more programs coming out, even nonprofit programs that are reaching out to people who might be
that would be a good time to really if you are in a space where you're feeling depressed, what you should do is be of service to others.
Absolutely.
So volunteering in those type of arenas would really be positive.
You know what, when I was younger, well, about 10-15 years ago, one of the things I loved doing was volunteering, and I did a lot of volunteering at nursing homes.
Oh, that's
and
nice.
When you go to somewhere like a nursing home where you might be the only friendly face they see, period, and they just they feel, sometimes they would actually say, God sent you to me. And girl, you come out of there feeling high as a kite. And that is the best. You're right. You go to someone who's worse off than you. You serve them. It's going to do you some good. You're right.
Yeah, I wish we could go into
very
nursing homes,
smart.
but we probably
can't.
Now
we can't.
Now we can't. So
but
they're
that
probably even more isolated now.
You are absolutely. And I mean, they can't even have their families now. That is probably one of the biggest casualties, both emotionally and physically.
Yes.
Because they are needed. You're sitting in a chair all day long, and if you have your mental faculties, it's even worse.
Or even I love my little cousin, but he is so addicted to video games.
Oh my god.
So I mean, so just imagine if you're by yourself, you're watching video games, and how that can work with you mentally.
And a lot of those video games are so bloody. Oh my god.
You get discensored to death. It's like, oh, okay, I can shoot
they
someone.
They completely dissensored. You're absolutely right, and that's really bad. So that's another casualty of what we're dealing with.
Exactly.
I just pray to God, I really do, that we get closer and closer to normalcy.
Yeah. Well, I'm happy that in the upcoming months we're going to have a mental health month.
Yes,
where we're going to have people to come in and talk about how to deal with it mentally, because I think we have a life coach coming, and a psychiatrist, and even someone who has some programs for kids.
Yeah, I think
that's going to be a good month.
And if we get like a lot of feedback, I'd say we do it more frequently.
Yeah. So March. What do we call it? March is mental health month.
We'll call it Mental March. Instead of March Madness, it's March Mental. All right.
March Mental.
Mental March.
So it's going to be.
Hey, I'm mental. I can say it. If you are that, you could talk about it. So what about goals? Now, do you subscribe to that, where you create a new set of goals at the beginning of every year?
Well, what I used to do, I would meditate and then have my word for the year that I would kind of focus on.
Yeah.
So my word for this year is a lot of self-care. So I'm going to date myself.
That's beautiful. Let me tell you, I did that.
Valentine's Day, I'm going to date myself.
That's a good thing,
I'm going to spoil myself too.
I bet you are. You're going to have to tell yourself, how dare you spend that kind of money on you?
But I'm worth it.
I'm worth it. I deserve it. But I like that idea. Cook yourself a nice meal.
Exactly.
Buy yourself some flowers.
Exactly.
I totally agree with that.
And get that good dress.
That's
and some
great.
shoes.
Get that pretty dress on. Right?
Yeah, so that's what I tend to do for the year. So that's what this year is about, self-care.
This is the year for self-care.
What about you? Do you have a goal for this year?
I have a lot of goals, but a goal that's a little extraordinary for me is I really want to go to Africa. Now,
yes,
I have this thing because the teas that I do sell are from Japan and other countries, but there is a huge tea development in Africa, in East Africa.
But if you were to not have something outside of yourself, but inside of yourself, what would be your goal?
I really would love to be a minimalist. I really want to become a minimalist. To me, I believe that the more stuff you have, the more clutter in your brain. I would love to I told Jeff last week, I said, let's just take this ottoman. Let's start here. Throw this ottoman away, so that you don't have any books. I don't want a coffee table book. I don't want anything. I want to really try to go minimalist.
That might be kind of cool.
I think it will clear my mind. You don't have a whole lot of things to look at.
Are you going to start in your closet?
I actually did my closet in January, but now what I did was clean it. But now I have, 80% of the stuff I could donate because I haven't worn it in 2 years. And they tell you 6 months to a year. And I'm pissed at myself because I should have donated it in December and got that receipt.
Exactly.
So, I'm mad at myself.
But the only
for that.
issues whenever because I do that every year, I go to the closet, then I'll try it on and go, but you know what?
And, oh my God.
This is still cute.
That is, I am guilty. I'm like, you know what? I do it every year, the same top for 4 years. I'm like, well, it fits me, but I never wear it. So I need to let it go. There is something we really have to figure that out. We're not going to wear it.
I know,
and
but
somebody
it's
could
just
really,
like, but that might have that one occasion that I'm going to wear this.
I am so mad. I mean, you see, I wear the same thing week after week. I do not need 90% of the stuff in my closet.
Right.
I got shoes I've never, ever, ever worn. At least sell them on consignment or something.
Okay, so that means let's give ourselves a deadline.
Oh, yes, now you're talking.
Okay.
How about March mental March?
Okay, mental March before or after?
Mid
okay.
mental March.
So we have March to go 15th, through our closet.
And let's take pictures. Let's do this, okay? And then we'll give him the event so he could put that. Let's do it.
Okay.
He'll put the before pictures up.
Right.
And then by March 15th, we are going to have an after picture.
March 15th.
You heard that?
So we're going to send a picture.
We'll
just send the picture.
We'll send him the picture.
Okay.
And let's see who got closer to their goal. Okay. So
we've covered a lot of topics for 2021. Now, what about business-wise?
Yeah, that's
a lot of people. What now?
That's good.
Were people losing their jobs?
Yeah.
I'm sure that I think people have started a lot of small businesses.
They absolutely have.
Yeah.
If you heard of Shopify? Okay,
yeah.
I sell my tea on Shopify.
Right.
Shopify is blown up. Oh my God, their stock is through the roof because everyone has decided to start. My daughter-in-law, she left her job.
Right.
And I think I told you now, she's all about self-care.
Mm-hmm.
So all of these, so there are really loads and loads of people. Amazon, a lot of people started making money through Amazon now.
Exactly.
So being an entrepreneur is hip. It's really the thing.
It's kind of hard if you probably in restaurants, but
that's got to be tough being in the. But my goal, the other goal I have, is to start selling in Sprouts. I spend half my free time in Sprouts. So one thing they do not sell, and I go and I research every time, every store I've been to, none of them I see, and I shouldn't tell my secret, but I don't see menopause tea anywhere. There's plenty online, but not in retail.
Or maybe even start at movable feast.
What is that?
A movable. You never heard of a movable feast?
It sounds familiar, but
it's off
is
of
it a
IT
store?
And it's a store / restaurant.
Okay.
And since it's a smaller location, maybe you can talk to them.
That's good. And Sprouts is receptive, so I've spoken to them, but I just need to go ahead and follow through. So that's one of my goals is to be in more retail places. Right now we're just in one retail.
Right.
But I would love to be in a place like Sprouts. And now I'm going to look into moving.
Yeah, because a lot of people are, like I said, a lot of small businesses, because like with me and my partners, we just opened a clinic in Missouri City. Oh. And so, but
you're close to home now.
I'm close to home.
Wow, and close to me.
I'm right in Missouri City.
Boy, that must be nice.
Yeah, Missouri City Chiropractic and Rehab Clinic.
Is that what it's called?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I want to see your logo next week.
Okay,
we're gonna have our logos up, everybody, so we know.
City
so you know where to get your help. Okay,
I know I could crack your back.
That's why
and you can drink your tea.
There you go.
That's a combo.
You know, I'm gonna stop bringing some tea over to your place.
You should,
and just little samples because I know you can't serve there. But I love to give out samples.
Yeah,
so
I
I'm
definitely will. I'll give out samples. No problem at all.
Okay, good. We're gonna do that.
Maybe something that's anti-inflammatory, since a lot of people come in inflamed.
Oh, that's a wonderful idea. Okay,
so that would be ideal.
Consider
for sure.
it done. I'll hook you up. I'll hook your patients up, so instead. But I think that starting a business is really the best thing you could do right now. And we all know that small business is the backbone of this country.
Exactly, because we've had 2 people to come and talk about small businesses. Yates, Attorney Yates.
Yeah, I'm going back to his. I don't know if you know he has that entrepreneur.
When does that start?
Wednesday, and I'm
this
going.
Wednesday.
I am. I just registered again this morning.
So that's another. If you're starting a small business and you need to know about the whole aspect of marketing, I need to get on that too. From beginning to end, this Wednesday you can go to the
Urban League on Texas Avenue. I think it's 100 Texas Avenue.
And I think everything is Zoom, so they can go online right now.
Right. So that makes it even. I was thinking I had to drive downtown.
He told us that everything is Zoom. So if you're looking for a small business, that's the way you should go. Go talk to and join that, and it's no cost, right?
It's no cost because it's funded through people like Microsoft. It's funded
exactly,
and so we don't have to pay anything, and it's really from soup to nuts.
Yeah, and so you get to learn everything you need to do. And then the other person we talked about Fort Bend.
Right. Oh, right. Thank you. And matter of fact, you and I are going to be
now,
on
what's her
that.
name again?
Jeanette Boulware.
Yeah.
And that's the 27th as well. That's
I don't know if I'll be able to make that one.
No. You're on the agenda,
I got DOT physicals.
I don't care.
Department of Transportation.
They're just gonna have to wait. They don't have to wait.
We're messing with the state.
On the, and I hope Oscar knows he's speaking. He's presenting on behalf of Edge Radio.
So, but if you're starting a small business, those are the 2 things, the things that you really can look into: the Urban League to get into their program, and the Fort Bend to get into, to find out how to actually get contracts with Fort Bend.
And
they have a program for you to do that also.
Absolutely, multi millions of dollars available.
Exactly. So those are definitely 2 things that can help a small business owner.
Thanks for reminding me.
Yeah,
those are 2 good ones.
Exactly. And then the last thing that people talk about that we've covered, the thing that Robin's about to say. Oh, I'm gonna work on it.
Don't say coffee. Oh, okay. I'm keeping my coffee for now.
Health and fitness.
Yes.
To get the body.
Yes.
Because if your body is rigid, your mind's going to be rigid.
You can answer this question. Should we take a break first, and then because I got a question? Nope. Okay, good. All right. So my sister has told me something new to the point where I don't ignore me. Ignore me. So I put it on my reminder every single night, and I have yet to do it.
Right.
But she says if you stretch, you have your husband or stretch yourself out really good right before bed, you sleep like a baby.
Yeah, I stretch before bed.
Is that because of your vertebrae?
I think it just allows, if I'm the yoga Emmy, energy to flow.
Okay.
And then at the end of the day, you might just be rigid in your joints, so it allows lubrication in between your joints.
Okay.
So yeah, I stretch before I go to bed.
Of course you do.
And then if you can't sleep, you can spray like magnesium oil on your feet.
Yeah,
on the bottom of your feet.
There's a company called Nested Naturals. They have all of their different remedies are magnesium based, and I'm a big fan of theirs.
They have a good oil at Sprouts.
Oh, okay, that's good to know because I used to spray at the bottom of my feet, which is part of reflexology. If people don't know, everything is at the bottom of your feet, which is pretty cool.
All the nerve endings end at the bottom of your feet.
And then as far as energy is concerned, it's really interesting that you say that because I'm real sensitive to energy. And the house we live in right now, the front door and the back door are aligned perfectly. So it's all happiness. That's why my plants are happy, the oranges, everything's happy.
Right.
But we used to live down the street, believe it or not. When we first moved to Sugar Land, we rented to see how we'd like the idea. And that house was built weird. First, it was on a weird part of the cul-de-sac. But when you come in, there's all these twists and turns before you see the back door.
Right.
And then there's a hallway, a dark hallway. And girl, I could not get happy in there. I didn't know what was going on, but I knew.
All the sage,
I brought in a
nothing
feng
happened,
shui specialist. I brought somebody in to try to give me, we staged it. We did everything. I couldn't get, we had to move. I couldn't. And man, that was the best thing I ever did for myself.
So this was totally
energy's real.
Issue Monday.
It's all about issues.
We covered all the issues on Monday for 2021.
Mm-hmm.
And then when we come back, we're going to start in February. It's going to be Black History Month. And we'll be able to discuss Black history. So that's what we'll do in February.
Okay.
So this has been a fun Monday.
Yeah. So February will be all about Black History.
All about Black history.
We hope you guys enjoyed our issue Monday. And next week we'll see if our next guest shows up.
See, she's being messy. We're gonna talk about karma next week. It's a karma talk.
All right. It's all about karma. Good stuff. Good stuff. All right, guys, we hope you enjoyed today's show, and we look forward to seeing you next Monday. In the meantime, we got to ask.
I know. How you living?
Take care.